if you put it out publicly on Facebook, it seems to me you have no expectation of privacy. If your IRS filings, I think you would assume are private.
I don't know that I have especially interesting insights into this kind of an issue, but I've got something to say in any case. Part of what interests me about the rise of digital culture in general is what I perceive to be a shift in different kinds of economies and ecologies, as I suggested in my remarks. And this almost kind of urban legend now about people putting outrageous things on Facebook, and then it has some deleterious factor in their job search and so forth, I think is really interesting as a kind of urban legend, you know. But for me, it also speaks to what I think of from film studies and different kinds of film theory. They often talk about regimes of the scopic, regimes of visibility. And one of the economies that they discuss is an economy between voyeurism and the pleasure of seeing, and the economy of exhibitionism, of being seen. And it seems to me that if there's an entire generation of people who are redefining that economy, that might actually be a good thing, you know? That might be liberating, that might be refreshing, that might be an instance of a kind of Web 2.0, new knowledge, new behavior that was unanticipated, that's less inhibited, you know, that feels a little more free to be themselves in this, you know, commingling of public-private space. And that might actually have an impact on the business environment. They might actually entertain that possibility instead of what my fear in this scenario is that it reifies aspects of discipline. I mean, in that classic Foucauldian sense, you know, that unless you're willing to assume the restrictions of your behavior and who you are and how you want to behave, you're inappropriate at some level. And I think that's, you know, oftentimes a very dangerous model of interaction and social behavior. And it's, you know, it leads to things like classifications of discrimination and things like that. So I would just want to push back a little bit and say, let's see, that could be a good thing.
Well, we already sniff people when we go to hire them at IBM Research. We just do it a different way. You don't hire somebody off the street because they look smart. You look at their papers. You look at their